Hi, it's Melissa and welcome back to my channel. So today I am showing you the fast process of what was a marathon in making this layout. This is made with my April Hip kit, which if you've been following me on Instagram, I have been creating a lot from it, and the reason why is because I'm aware that my May kit is going to arrive on my doorstep probably in the next week or so, and I want to keep up with the kit that's current. So this paper was left over from the first Confessions of a Paper Addict layout that I did with the stars. I used the edges of that paper, and this piece was left over. I wasn't going to make a video, which is why you didn't see me cut the paper apart, but basically each of those bits was joined to the other piece below it in the same colour, and then I just cut them all apart, and then I spent a week playing around. And when I say a week, I don't mean I sat there for a week, because hey, who's got time for that? I spent like 10 minutes here and there trying to figure out how I was going to make this work. And I would show my daughter Azaria, she's 9, nearly 10, and try and get her input on what to do. And it just would not work. And so originally I thought that I would just stagger them as I've done, but have them in a full circle. But because the piece of paper was not circular, it was more, I think, square, but on an angle, I just couldn't make it work. And so what I did, actually, at this point I realised I think I've made a mistake. I've got 4 papers, 4 colours on each of the, like this one I'm working on now, and the pinky one and the blue one, and I think I ended up with only 3 in the purpley pinky one, but we'll see that soon. Anyway, I decided after fiddling around that this was the best way I could make it work, like a pinwheel. So I just went with that. I was going to use liquid adhesive, but then I decided no, I'll just go with a little bit of double-sided tape, because my intention is to do some machine stitching as well. So just showing you, I think I don't show you the other 2, but just showing you how I'm doing these 2. And I just adore this Horizon collection by Paige Evans. I just love the fact it's rainbow, and I'm probably going to have to get some more of it, because I feel like I've nearly finished my kit and I don't have enough. So here you can see I had to rip one of them off because I realised I had uneven numbers in one of those groups of colours, like I said before, and it left a bit of a mess. So I thought, hey, let's just cut it off from the backing sheet like I've done there. So I just went for it. I didn't want any of the white cardstock to be seen underneath, so I just cut. And I'm so glad I just used a little bit of double-sided tape, because if I'd glued it fully, this probably wouldn't be possible. So trimming them out. And this ends up being the best decision that I make, because I didn't even have them arranged evenly on that paper anyway. So now I'm able to get them where I want them. So this is a photo of Azaria and Ava. It's from Easter last year. Ava's still a baby there. And I put a filter over it, like a warm kind of honey toned filter. And what I showed you before was me just checking this little black and white photo as well. But it needed a square photo, and it needed something, a photo that was quite strong to hold its own against all this colour. And the filter that I put on this photo, and also the colours in the photo and their clothing, worked really well with those pattern papers. So I back my photos on cardstock, white cardstock, if I haven't printed them with a border. I have recently learned how to print them with a border with my Canon Selphy. And this one I trimmed it with a trimmer, and then realised that it was too much of a border, so trimmed it with my scissors. So then I'm thinking, right, I want to add some watercolours just to give it a bit more on that background. And this is another thing I wouldn't be able to do if I had gone with what I had before I found the mistake. So I'm trying to colour match to each edge of my clusters of paper. So I've gone for a blue, and then a green, then I'll go green and yellow, and then orange and kind of light pink, and then like a medium pink and a purple. So I was having a bit of trouble here with my watercolour pen. It wouldn't splatter very well despite me adding heaps of water into that little palette. In case you're wondering, I use Close to My Heart paints. They are really good and really reasonable. I think they cost about $20, and I just get them from my friend who sells Close to My Heart. So yeah, bit of a struggle. I'm hoping that I do speed this up soon. There's a trick for you. If you get colour in your palette that's not the colour that you want, you just keep adding water and then dabbing it with a paper towel, and eventually that gets rid of the extra colour that you don't want. So here we're adding yellow. This is probably my favourite yellow colour. I think there's about 3 or 4 of each colour, and I find that these Close to My Heart watercolours work really, really well with the products that I like. So yeah, I probably could have cut this bit out, but anyway, guess it gives me a bit more time to chat to you. But yep, going super fast now. I think that's an orange, yeah, orange colour. And at the moment it doesn't look that amazing, but once the paper goes down, then it really brings out those colours. So the final colour to do, and as you can see, I just, because the pen is filled with water, it's from Close to My Heart as well, so all I do is have a paper towel nearby, and when I want to change colours, I just squeeze the pen onto the paper towel, you know, it's a brush I should be saying, and that just squeezes the colour out. So the final colour is, I think, pink and purple. And still having a bit of trouble with my splatters. I wanted big splatters and little splatters, so to get the smaller ones I'm just tapping it onto my finger. So the final one is the purple, and I find the best thing to do with watercolours is to let them dry naturally rather than mopping them up with a paper towel. So here we are, and I've added 2 sort of circular rows of stitching. If I'd thought about this better, I might have been more even in my stitching to have 2 circles, but it's handmade, it doesn't matter. I just love the texture that the stitching adds, and it's a bit more interest than if I didn't. And because I'd only used sort of small pieces of double-sided tape, it has the practical purpose of holding them all together. So trusty double-sided tape and adhering them all. And like I said before, I've got more control now that I've cut them off the other paper, because I can evenly place them like a pinwheel. So yeah, happy accident really. Right, got my photo. I want to pop my photo up on some foam. If you're in New Zealand, you can get this in Spotlight. Even our little Spotlight has it. And it just is so much quicker. I'll never go back to the foam that doesn't have adhesive on one side. I wish they'd make a foam with adhesive on both, but I guess it's not made for this purpose. It's made for kids crafting. So into the ephemera pack, and just going through, and I decided that I wanted to colour match, because I think that Paige Evans has made this collection so perfectly to be able to do that, because I know that she loves doing that herself. So using a lot of icons, the chipboard as well, and no, these icons probably don't really make sense to the layout, but it doesn't matter, it's just adding a bit more interest, and I think that having those embellishments really draws your eye towards the photo, which is the main feature of this page. So I love those little street scenes that she's got in the ephemera kit. That's another one there as well. So some of these things I'm popping up on foam, and some of them I'm not. So yeah, I think it had the flower pack out as well. So looking at the chipboard again, and then realising that I better commit to sticking down my photo, so that then I can tuck things under it if need be as well. And it doesn't bother me that the inside parts of that pinwheel are going to be covered up. So adding a green heart, trying to think out what else to say to you, really. Yeah, our Easter is in autumn, but because we went out to my parents' place in, well, it's near Auckland, it was quite warm, which is why my kids are wearing summer clothing. But I know in other parts of the world you have a spring Easter, and I think that would be lovely too. So here I'm lifting the edges just to give a bit more movement, and now looking at these layered embellishments from Dear Lizzie, they are really beautiful. Decided to go with the, I think it says Sweetness, beautiful rosette. And I was just checking it because I wanted to see how high that foam was on the back of it. And I think it looks perfect there on that pink paper. And I had to move the butterfly because it was getting lost. And it's beautiful colours in that are perfect too. So just adding my journaling. I can't remember what I wrote. This was a while ago, but probably just writing about Easter. Yeah, I think I'm almost there now. I'm trying to think what else I added after the journaling. Yeah, a bit more journaling. I would have put the date somewhere on here, but I would have had to have looked at my phone, and I'm filming on that. Okay, yeah. So that little blue flower is from the flower pack, and I'm just lifting up the edges and then popping a little pop dot behind it, just to give a bit of dimension. I think what I was doing before was having a look and seeing where I'm lacking embellishment. Yeah, and I think that's the final one. So that's my layout. Thank you so much for watching.